Hello, my name is Jeb Sherrill, and I am not a guitar teacher. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another lesson. Last time we talked about upside down or reverse chairs. Today we're going to talk about bridges. Now, we're not talking about musical bridges, we're talking about the bridge shapes which exist underneath all the chairs. We've talked about them a little before, but today I'm going to show you first of all on the chair guitar, which has the whole pattern on it, and then on my usual guitar. Now, right here, you have a bridge underneath every single chair. And the really cool thing, as I've said before about this system, is that you're not just learning right notes with this. All of these are right notes, but it's much more important that you're learning what interval they are. So, when it comes to these bridges, it's very useful to know where they go. It's nice to know, in other words, that 1-4-1-4 underneath any of these chairs, you're going to get right notes. But what are those notes? Well, first of all, you've got two chairs down here below this chair. Every chair is on top of two chairs. The front of one chair and the back of another chair. And what's really useful about that is you know what those notes are. Because the front of this chair, well, for one thing, we know that's the fifth for the major scale. We know that this note being the top, well, we know it's the major root. We also know that it's going to be the third for the minor, and that's really cool. This is what I use a lot when I'm playing in minor. In other words, when I'm playing and I'm switching between chairs, major and minor chairs, when I'm playing in minor, I often play beneath the chair. And this is why. If you're playing pentatonically, what you have with a bridge is you have your minor root, you have your third, and you have a fifth here, and of course you have that fifth over here, which I've showed you before. There's always a fifth beside the root, both major and minor, and there's another fifth down here, the higher fifth, the lower fifth, the higher fifth. So, when you're playing on a bridge, when you slide down underneath the chair and you're playing on the bridge, you automatically know, okay, I've got a major root, I've got my third here, I've got my fifth. So, I automatically know that triad for minor is always going to be in the bridge. But there's a little more you can know too. So I'm going to switch to my other guitar. Now, here you're going to notice that I've added a bridge in. Not only have I added a bridge, but I've added two notes. Two guesses as to what those notes are. Well, they are the two diatonic notes which exist right here. These exact same two notes are these two notes here. So we know that the two diatonic notes are inside the bridge. How is that useful? Well, it depends on what you're doing. If you're playing in minor, which I like to do a lot, I like to use this bridge when I'm playing minor, I know that this note is my second. So not only do I have a triad right here, but I have a second. Now, if you're playing pentatonically, you won't have that second, but if you're playing diatonically, you will. This note is also going to be the seventh for the major, because it's right above that major root, which means you can also use this shape for playing major. You might, for instance, start here and play like that. But in this case, I'm just showing you minor. So right here in the bridge, I have a lot of really, really important notes. I've got my minor triad, I've got my second, and I even have this note, which I'm not going to use a whole lot, but it's my fourth. Most of the time I find myself using my first, third, fifth, second, other fifth. And so once you know this, you can start playing horizontally. And I'm going to cover that more in the next lesson, because right now we're kind of going opposite to the way you usually learn. Most people learn horizontally first, and then they move to going diagonally or vertically. We're kind of learning to play diagonally, somewhat vertically first, and then going over to horizontal. Because you're going to start learning that every bridge you have, so in other words, when you slide down under the chair and you go to the bridge, you've also have another chair right beside. And the great thing is now it's not just random notes to you. Even if you're playing, so this would be a box shape. Now this would be the beginning of a box shape. And instead of just looking like random notes to you, now you're going to go, oh, well, okay, here's my minor root, my third, oh, that's a fifth, oh, that's a fifth, which means that's got to be a fourth, back to my minor root, there's my seventh up there. So it locks in your mind, because instead of memorizing it as a big chunk shape, you're memorizing it as shapes coming off these chairs. So you sort of automatically know what interval you're working with, if that makes any sense. Everybody do please like and subscribe to this video. It really does help my videos and help me keep bringing them to you. So for now, just practice the bridges. Every time you come down underneath a chair, you can just start playing with the bridge. You can add in the two diatonic notes or not. If you're just playing pentatonically, obviously that's not necessary. But you're just going to start coming to understand what those intervals are and what they do for you. And when you lock that into your head, it makes it a whole lot easier when you're improvising. So I will see you guys on the next one. I hope you enjoy these bridges.